Why is it seen as good to have a tight pussy by guys? I've had a girlfriend with so tight pussy that it's a medical problem. Cold sweat smile. I can't remember how it calls exactly. But in fact this makes your sex extremely hard. Sometimes impossible just because you can't put your penis in her vagina. So after that I totally hate tight pussies, lol, and if it feels a little bit free spacey. I just invented this word now. Sorry, I'm not native speaker. It's absolutely no problem for me. Sex will be great if I love and want my girlfriend anyway. Men say it feels better due to more pressure around their penis. It's just a tighter grip. Also, like men's penises come in different lengths and girths. Women's vaginas also have slightly different shapes. There's the tilt of the uterus. Small variation in length on vaginal canal. Weaker pelvic floor muscles. From childbirth, age, or any other medical factor. And differences in tightness, aka muscle contraction. BCRMBR. The vaginal canal is all muscle. The lack of tightness therefore can be due to a variety of factors in the differences of the individual's vaginal canal, or the differences in the length, girth of the man's penis. Small, bigger girth, length also contributes to the feeling of tightness. Note: the tightness also has to do with arousal. When a woman is closer to orgasm, her muscles are contracting more. When she is turned on, muscles contract more. Edit. AJDJSJDJD. Thanks for the reward. Loudly crying. I just said this based on my anatomy class last year. I think some of the belief also comes from archaic stigmas around female sexuality. There is a widespread belief that having a tight vagina means that she has less sex with other people, so it's more saved for you. It's not a true statement, because vaginas are quite elastic, so to speak, but people believe it nonetheless. I won't get any further into the controversial subject of female sexuality. That's for another sub. Just thought I'd add these 2 cents. As a general rule, it takes longer to achieve orgasm with less pressure. And some men are only interested in achieving orgasm as quickly as possible regardless of the pleasure of the other person. Bless your heart. Tip for these guys: get her off first, it'll help. Different women feel different. This is the reverse of the question, why do women prefer bigger penises? All cooch matters. Which feels better? Jerking with a loose open-handed grip or jerking with a firmer, tighter grip? Well, you see, if you worry your pee-pee is too small, then you get anxious you can't satisfy a lady. So then you start to shift that fear and blame onto women in general, and before you know it you are finding ways to say their pussy is too loose, or not tight enough. It's a sarcastic answer, but one that unfortunately holds some truth. But you have pointed out about how your lady friend's parts change during your lovemaking depending on her state of arousal, and I think the truth is actually down this path. That sex is not about an active cock going into a passive pussy that may or may not be too tight. It is an interplay between these parts, and the sensation changes continually depending on arousal, lubrication, position, expectation, foreplay, the music, etc. So you are right to be incredulous of the statement. Though if anyone is truly interested in pussy tightness as a thing, then it may be worth exploring. https en.m.wikipedia.org/wiki/pompoir. They may loosen up when they're turned on, but when they're really turned on it tightens up and gets wet in a different way. Very hard to describe, but I assume that's what guys mean. Also, there are some that really feel like you're throwing a hot dog in a hallway no matter how turned on or not they are. You would be well, mostly correct. In general, arousal makes the vagina less tight and more lubricated. Every vagina is different. Some are naturally tighter than others. Some are naturally so tight that sex becomes painful or difficult. The grip of a vagina does not necessarily reflect on the person's sexual history. Lots of men equate a loose vagina to promiscuity, and thus to a woman's worth, not considering the fact that maybe his dick is just too small to get that tight fit he's after. You're confusing tight and dry. Also, some girls know how to tighten it during sex. If Sarah can fit 2 fingers in but Bessie takes the whole fist, Sarah is tight in comparison. A lot of guys have small dicks. You're mostly correct, but some girls are just tighter than other and feel nicer. And no, it is not determined by how many men she has slept with. I think you are confusing dry for tight if you are talking about it feeling less tight once she is turned on. As for why, tight almost always feels better. Also, the sensation of tightness and female pleasure are 100% linked, as there are typically vaginal contractions that coincide with the woman's orgasm or peak stimulation that have the effect of squeezing and tightening around your phallus if you brought her that way. My partner always feels tightest as she orgasms. Female anatomy has the ability to tighten and loosen with muscles and dilate to grow to be able to allow a child to pass through and restore back to almost identical as before within a short time. As with all people, we all have different shapes and sizes. But for the most part, it's males' ignorance about females and how their anatomy works. Or they have just been blessed with a smaller penis and are diverting the shame by blaming the woman. So we can control our dilation with muscles and arousal, and everything is very elastic down there, so it will for the most part keep its shape. There may be individual cases that have factors that change this, but for the most part this is how it works. The idea of loose or tight vaginas is a myth that was made up as a way to shame and objectify women. Also, if a woman isn't tightening around your penis, it might be because she is not aroused.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.